Hello and welcome back to part 2 of Vejigante mask making. Today we're going to add the eyes and the mouth. Now the eyes have 3 parts to them. They've got kind of this colorful mask, the white part of the eyes, and the pupils. All of this is symmetrical, same on both sides. So I'm going to show you how to make these things perfectly the same so your 2 eyes match. So the 3 pieces of paper you'll need are first a large colored piece of paper, that'll be for the mask, a white piece of paper for the white part of the eyes, and a smaller square for the pupils. Let's start with the white paper first. Now for this, you're going to get to choose what shape of eye you want. And here are a couple choices. Let me get my whiteboard out. You might want to have eyes that are just 2 big circles. That'll look something like that. Maybe you want to have eyes that are more of an oval, like this guy here. Makes him look extra excited. That'll look something like this. Or you might want a vejigante that looks like it's up to some mischief, maybe going to cause some trouble. For those ones, we're actually going to do diagonal lines for the top of the eyes and then a big U shape under each line. That looks a little bit spooky. So it's up to you, circle, oval, or slanted. Decide in your mind which type you'd like to do for your vejigante. Once you know which type you want to do, take your white piece of paper and fold it in half. That way we'll have 2 layers of paper to cut through, and that'll give us 2 eyes for the price of 1, folks. A nice 2-for-1 deal there. I'm just going to cut out some big circles because I think that looks the coolest. You are welcome to choose whichever shape you want. Just remember to make it big. Fill up this entire square with your shape because if it's really small, it's going to look strange to have tiny eyes on such a big mask. So fill up a lot of that space. Once you have your eyes cut out, we're not going to glue them to the face. We're going to glue them to the mask. This larger colored rectangle here. You might want to kind of line it up to make sure that it's going to be in about the right place. You don't want to have your eyes way out here. You want to have them so they still fit on the head. And that's where we'll glue them down. So we're taking the white part of the eyes, gluing it to the mask. And once these are glued to the mask, now we can bubble cut around these white circles or white shapes to create the mask. I usually make it in a shape that looks like you can draw it first. I like to make it kind of dip down in the center, go around each eye. So it's kind of like a bubble cut here. And that creates a mask shape. You can kind of draw it first if you'd like, or you can just start cutting. It's up to you. I like to draw while it's on the face, so I know about how big that shape should be. If you need to trim it a little smaller, that's okay too. You can always trim things smaller, but you can't always add more paper without having to restart. So it's good to make something big to start. You can always trim it later if you need to. Much easier that way. All right. Woo! Look at that. Once you've got the eyes cut out or the mask cut out, then you can glue it down. Woo! Glue bottle had a little sneeze there. Must be sick. Maybe we got to take her to the doctor. All right. Glue those eyes down. And lastly, for the eyes, we're going to add the pupils. I grabbed a little piece of purple paper for the pupils, purple pupils. And to use the pupils, or to make the pupils, I'm going to fold this tiny square in half, just like that. And on that tiny square, I'm going to cut out a long oval shape. You could draw it first, but I think it's easier to honestly just cut it. An easy way to do this is to just kind of trim off the edges and the corners using round lines to make essentially a long oval or potato shape, as the kindergartners might call it. 2 purple potatoes. Lovely. Glue those down, and I'm done with the eyes. Bloop. A little eye surgery here. There she goes. All right, now we're ready for the mouth. For the mouth, you're going to need a red sheet of paper and a white rectangle of paper. We're going to start by using the red to make the shape of the mouth. The shape of the mouth can be up to you. You might want to have it flat on the top and curved on the bottom. That looks like kind of an emoji face to me. Or you may want it to be curved on the top and curved along the bottom. So to draw that, here's your two choices for the mouth. Curve on the top. Now I'm going to go around the bottom with a curved line like that, or we'll have a flat top with a curved bottom. Up to you. It does have to be a smile because this is for a fun party time. These things are meant to scare away bad vibes, not to actually be scary. So please, no scary, frowning mouths. We got to protect our kindergartners in the hallways. We don't want to freak them out with our art that's hanging up there. Now, because we're making the mouth symmetrical, we're actually only going to have to draw half of the mouth. And then when we cut it out, we'll get the other half. So when we draw today, we're only drawing one half of the mouth, whether that's the straight with a curve on the bottom or the curved top around to the bottom. That one kind of looks like a bean to me. Beans. Makes me want chili. I'm already ready for lunch. Okay, take your red piece of paper, fold that in half, and make sure to start on the folded edge. Your line for the mouth should start and end on the folded edge. In fact, to help myself out, I usually like to make those lines for myself, those starting and ending lines. So right here along the fold, I'm going to make a starting line a little bit down from the top. Let's zoom in so you guys can actually see that. All right, everybody move over. Okay. I'm going to make a little line near the top corner of the paper and a little line near the bottom. That's my starting line and my finishing line for the mouth. I do want to make this pretty big. If it ends up being too big, remember I can always trim it shorter. But let's start with a straight line across that goes almost all the way to the edge, but maybe stops with an inch left, and then a big curve down to my bottom line. When I cut that out, I can then hold it up to my Vejigante's face and see if it's too big and I need to trim it, or if it's just right. So with this shape, let's open it up. There's the whole mouth. I'm holding it up, and it seems like a pretty good size. If I did want to make it smaller, I could fold it right back up, kind of trim off those edges, maybe just the bottom edge, and there. I've got a little bit smaller of a mouth that way. So decide which shape you want to do for the mouth. Start on the folded edge, draw your line at your starting point, around, and down to the ending point. When you're ready to glue, go right ahead. Cute! All right, now for the last step, we're going to make teeth. For the teeth, you have a few choices. You don't get to do spiky teeth. Please, no scary pointy teeth. Once again, I do not want to freak out those kindergartners in the hallway, please. Remember, Vejigantes are supposed to be fun, not too scary, just a little bit goofy. So your teeth can be round shaped. Your teeth could be square shaped. Your teeth could be rectangular shaped. All of those are okay. You just cannot have scary, spiky teeth. No, thank you. All right? So to make our teeth, we're going to use this white sheet of paper and we're going to fold it into 4 sections. So fold it in half this way, then fold it in half this way. Just like when we were doing the horns, we need to pay attention to the sides of this little rectangle here. So along the sides of the rectangle, these 4 sides, one edge is just a plain fold, one edge is a double fold, one edge you can see all 4 flaps, and another edge you can see all 4 flaps. Make sure that these 4 flaps here, when you put it down on your table, are along the bottom. So flip and turn your tooth paper until you see those 4 flap edges along the bottom. Now I'm ready to draw my teeth and cut them out. I'm just going to do 2 along that bottom edge. That's plenty. I don't think I'm going to need more than 8 teeth. That might get too crazy. That's like sharks. Sharks have a ton of teeth because each little tooth I cut out, there's going to be 4 copies of it since I'm cutting through 4 pieces of paper. So I don't need too many teeth. Then we'd have to go to the dentist. Dentist can get expensive. Too many teeth, too many problems, right? More teeth, more problems. Okay. So now I'm going to take my little teeth and play around with how I want to arrange them. Maybe you just want to have one little cute little tooth. Maybe you want to have one on the top, one on the... Oh, that looks like a baby. That's cute. Maybe you want to fill up the mouth. My only rule is that the teeth must be touching the edge of the red paper. You cannot have teeth just like floating around in the middle. That looks like maybe they were eating something. That makes it not look like teeth anymore. So line them up so they're right along the very edge of the red paper, however you want to do that. Then it's time to glue them down. I dropped my glue bottle. There it is. Okay. Easy way to glue down these teeth. Instead of trying to put dots of glue on the teeth themselves, I like to just put a dot of glue where the tooth will go, and then I can press it on. A dot of glue will do. You don't need very much glue. We do not want to have a mouth full of glue. Okay, kids? I saw a kindergartner do that once. Put glue in their mouth. Do not do that. We will have to send you to Miss Cry. All right, so here is my Vejigante with the eyes and the mouth with teeth. I hope you had fun, and I can't wait for the next step.